The Lord of the Rings, Part 8, by J.R.R. Tolkien.
At the moment the riders of Rohan arrived, Gandalf and Pippin beside him watched the Lord of the Nazgul turn and leave the city.
Gandalf! Denethor sent me away, but I'm frightened. Something terrible may happen up there in the Citadel. The Lord is out of his mind, I think. I'm afraid he'll kill himself and kill Faramir too. Can't you do something?
But I must go. The Lord of the Nazgul is now abroad, and he'll yet bring ruin on us. I've no time.
But Faramir, he's not dead, and they'll burn him alive if someone doesn't stop them.
Burn him alive?
Yes.
What's this tale? Be quick.
Well, Denethor has gone to the tombs and he's taken Faramir and says we're all to burn. He's made a pyre and poured oil on it already. Oh, can't you save Faramir?
Maybe I can, but if I do, then others will die, I fear. Well, I must come, since no other help can reach him,
Yes,
but
you must.
evil and sorrow will come of this. Even in the very heart of our stronghold, the enemy has power to strike us, for his will it is that is at work. Come, up with you. Now, lead me to him. Stay this madness.
Haste, haste, do as I have bidden.
Stop.
Slay me this renegade.
No, stop! What is this, my lord? The houses of the dead are no places for the living. Why do men fight here in the Hallows when there's war enough before the gate? Or has our enemy come even here?
Since when has the Lord of Gondor been answerable to thee? Or may I not command my own servants?
You may, Lord Denethor, but others may contest your will when it's turned to madness and evil. Where's your son, Faramir?
He lies within, burning, already burning. They have set a fire in his flesh, but soon all shall be burned. The west has failed.
Oh, no.
It shall all go up in great fire, and all shall be ended. Ash and smoke blown away on the wind. Why should we not go to death side by side?
Authority is not given to you, steward of Gondor, to order the hour of your death, and only the heathen kings under the domination of the enemy did thus, slaying themselves in pride and despair. Come, we are needed. There is much that you can yet do.
See, I have the Palantir.
No!
Pride and despair indeed. Didst thou think that the eyes of this tower were blind? Nay, I have seen more than thou knowest, grey fool. For a little space you may triumph on the field for a day, but against the power that now arises, there is no victory.
Yes, such counsels will make the enemy's victory certain indeed.
Hope on, then. But I say to thee, Gandalf Mithrandir, I won't be thy tool. In this at least thou shalt not defy my will to rule my own end. Come hither, come, if you are not all recreant. Come, light my pyre.
No!
Oh no! Oh, my love!
So passes Denethor, and also the days of Gondor that you all have known. For good or evil, they're ended. Bear away from this unhappy place your comrades who've fallen, and we'll bear Faramir, new steward of Gondor, to the House of Healing. Soon I shall have other charges in the House of Healing, not Faramir only. Come with me, Pippin, to the House of Healing.
And so King Theoden and Eowyn his kin came to the city of Gondor, and all who saw them bared their heads and bowed. And they passed through the ash and fume of the burned walls, and went on and up along the streets of stone. To Merry, the ascent seemed age-long, a meaningless journey in a hateful dream, going on and on to some dim ending that memory cannot seize.
Well, Mary, thank goodness I found you.
Oh, Pippin. Oh, but where is the king and Eowyn? Oh, I'm faint. Oh.
Poor old Mary. Oh, how glad I am to see you again. But you're worn out. Tell me, are you hurt or wounded?
No, well, no, I don't think so. But I can't use my right arm, Pippin. Not since I stabbed him.
Stabbed him?
And my sword burned all away like a piece of wood.
Oh, well, you better come with me as quick as you can. Come on. Oh, I wish I could carry you. You aren't fit to walk any further. They shouldn't have let you walk at all. But you must forgive them. That so many dreadful things have happened in this city, Mary, that one poor old hobbit coming in from the battle is easily overlooked. Go on now.
Oh, it's not always a misfortune being overlooked. I was overlooked just now by... No, I can't speak of it.
Come,
Oh, help me, Pippin. It's all going dark again, and my arm is so cold.
Oh, come on. Lean on me, Mary, lad. Come on now. Come on. Give me your hand, Mary. Come on. There, that's it.
There now. Now that'll feel better. There. No, I'll wait with you here and watch.
Alas, if fair Faramir should die, would that there were kings in Gondor, as there were once upon a time, they say.
Why?
For it's said in old law, yes indeed, the hands of the king are the hands of a healer. And so the rightful king could ever be known.
Men may long remember your words, old woman, for there's hope in them. Maybe a king has indeed returned to Gondor, or haven't you heard the strange tidings that have come to the city?
Oh, I've been too busy with this and that to heed all the crying and shouting. All I hope is that those murdering devils don't come to this house of healing and trouble the sick. There now. I don't know what to do, but you lie there.
Old woman, you have store in this house and herbs of healing?
Yes, Lord, but not enough, I reckon, for all that will need them. But I'm sure I don't know where we shall find more, for all things are amiss in these dreadful days, what with fire and burnings, and the lads that run errands so few, and all the roads blocked. Why, it's days out of count since ever a carrier came into the market from the countryside. Well, we do our best in this house with what we have, and I'm sure your lordship will know.
Well, I'll judge that when I see. One thing also is short, time for speech. Have you the leaf of Athalas?
Oh, I don't know, I'm sure, Lord. At least not by that name. I'll go and ask of the herb master. He knows all the old names.
It's also called Kingsfoil, and maybe you know it by that name, for so the country folk call it in these latter days.
Oh, that. Well, if your lordship had named it at first, I could have told you. No, we've none of it, I'm sure. Why, I've never heard that it had any great virtue, and indeed, I've often said to my sisters when we came upon it growing in the woods, Kingsfoil, I said, 'tis a strange name, and I wonder why 'tis called so, for if I were a king, I would have plants more bright in my garden. Still, it smells sweet when bruised, doesn't it? If sweet is the right word, wholesome maybe is nearer.
Wholesome, verily. And now, dame, if you love the Lord Faramir, run as quick as your tongue and get me Kingsfoil if there is a leaf in the city.
And if not, I'll ride to the countryside with this old woman behind me, and she shall take me to the woods, but not to her sisters. And Shadowfax shall show her the meaning of haste.
I'll go look, my lords. I'll go look, yes. Now let me see. Where did I go?
Now, Faramir, let me lay my hand upon your brow. It's drenched with sweat, and he makes no move and seems hardly to breathe. He's nearly spent. But this comes not from the wound. See? That is healing. Had he been smitten by some dart of the Nazgul, as you thought, he would have died that night. This hurt was given him by some poisoned arrow, I would guess.
Here comes the Herbmaster.
Your lordship asked for King's Foil, as the rustics name it, or Athelis in the noble tongue, or to those who know somewhat of another.
I do so, and I care not whether you say it in some other tongue or call it Kingsfoil, so long as you have some.
Pardon, Lord, pardon. I see you are a lawmaster, not merely a captain of war. But alas, we don't keep this thing in the houses of healing, where only the gravely hurt or sick are tended. For it has no virtues we know of, save perhaps to sweeten the foul air, or to drive away some passing heaviness, unless, of course, you give heed to rhymes of old age, which women, such as our good dame here, repeat without understanding. Let me see, how does it go? Ah, yes, when the black breath blows, and death's shadow grows, and all lights pass, come Athelas. Life to the dying, in the king's hand lying. It's but a doggerel, I fear, garbled in the memory of old wives. Its meanings I leave to your judgment, if indeed it has any. But old folks still use an infusion of the herb for headaches.
Then, in the name of the king, go and find some old man of less law and more wisdom who keeps some in his house.
Oh, yes, of course. Now let me see.
Sir, it's Kingsfoil, but not fresh, I fear. It must have been culled 2 weeks ago at the least. I hope it will serve, sir. Oh, my Lord Faramir.
It will serve.
Oh.
The worst is now over. Stay, boy, and be comforted. Now, let me crush them. Old woman, some steaming water.
Well, now, who would have believed it? The weed is better than I thought. It reminds me of the roses when I was a lass, and no king could ask for better.
My lord, you called me. I come. What does the king command?
Walk no more in shadows, my Lord Faramir, but awake. You are weary. Rest a while and take food, and be ready when I return.
I will, my lord. I'm stronger already. Who would lie idle when the king has returned?
Farewell, then, for a while. I must go to the others who need me. And now for Éowyn. Ah, here there is a grievous hurt and a heavy blow. The arm that was broken has been tended with due skill, and it will mend in time, if she has the strength to live. I have maybe the power to heal her body, and to recall her from the dark valley. But to what she will awake, hope, or forgetfulness, or despair, I don't know. And if to despair she will die, unless other healing comes which I can bring, alas, for her deeds have set her among the queens of great renown. See, now I kiss her brow. Éowyn, Éomen's daughter, kin of Theoden king, awake, for your enemy has passed away.
Give me that Athelas again, and the hot water. There.
Awake, Éowyn, lady of Rohan, awake. The shadow is gone, and all darkness is washed clean. Take her hand, Éomer, and call her. Call her.
Éowyn?
Éomer. Oh, what joy is this? For they said you were slain. Nay, but that was only the dark voices in my dream. How long have I been dreaming?
Not long, my sister, but think no more on it.
I'm strangely weary. I must rest a little. But tell me, what of the Lord of the Mark? Oh, alas, don't tell me that that was a dream, for I know that it was not. He is dead, as he foresaw.
He is dead, but he bade me say farewell to Éowyn, dearer than daughter. He lies now in great honor in the citadel.
And what of the king's squire, the halfling?
He lies nearby, in this house, and I'll go to him. Éomer shall stay for a while, but don't speak yet of war or woe until you're made whole again. Great gladness it is to see you wake again to health and to hope, so valiant a lady.
To health? It may be so, but to hope? I don't know.
Mary, Mary, come back. Come back. More Athelas.
Here, Lord. And the water?
Oh, Mary. Oh, he's going to die after all.
Don't be afraid. I came in time, and he's weary now and grieved, and he has taken a hurt like the Lady Éowyn, daring to smite that deadly thing. But these evils can be amended. So strong and gay a spirit is in him. His grief he won't forget, but it won't darken his heart. It will teach him wisdom. Now, Mary. Mary, come. Bring the Athelas here.
I'm hungry. What's the time?
Oh, Mary. It's past supper time now. Though I dare say I could bring you something if they let me.
They will indeed, and anything else that this rider of Rohan may desire, if it can be found in Minas Tirith, where his name is in honor.
Oh, good. Then I would like supper first.
Good.
And after that, a pipe.
All right.
No, not a pipe. I don't think I'll smoke again.
Why not?
Well, he's dead. It has brought it all back to me. He said he was sorry he'd never had a chance of talking herb law with me. Almost the last thing he ever said. I shan't ever be able to smoke again without thinking of him. And that day, Pippin, when he rode up to Isengard and was so polite.
Ah, yes. Poor Theoden.
Smoke then and think of him, for he was a gentle heart and a great king and kept his oaths, and he rose out of the shadows to a last fair morning. Though your service to him was brief, it should be a memory glad and honorable to the end of your days.
Well then, if Strider will provide what is needed, I will smoke and think. I had some of Saruman's best in my pack, but what became of it in the battle, I'm sure I don't know.
Master Meriadoc, if you think that I've passed through the mountains of the realm of Gondor with fire and sword to bring herbs to a careless soldier who throws away his gear, you're mistaken. If your pack hasn't been found, then you must send for the herb master of this house, and he will tell you all kinds of things, and leave you to reflect upon the history of tongues. And so now must I. For I haven't slept in a bed since I took horse, nor eaten since the dark before the dawn.
I'm frightfully sorry, dear Strider. Go at once. Ever since that night at Bree, we've been a nuisance to you.
May the Shire live forever unwithered. There, dear Mary.
Farewell, Strider.
Farewell.
Was there ever anyone like him? Except Gandalf, of course. I think they must be related. My dear ass, your pack is lying by the bed and you had it on your back when I met you. He saw it all the time, of course. Come on now. Long bottom leaf it is. Fill up while I run and see about some food. Oh, and then let's be easy for a bit. Oh, dear me, we tooks and brandybucks, we can't live long on the heights.
No, I can't. Not yet, at any rate. But at least, Pippin, we can now see them and honour them.
Aye, we can that.
It's best to love first what you're fitted to love, I suppose. You must start somewhere and have some roots. Yes. And the soil of the Shire is deep. Still, there are things deeper and higher, and not a gaffer could tend his garden in what he calls peace but for them, whether he knows about them or not. I'm glad I know about them. Now, where's that leaf?
There's some good stonework here. As a dwarf, I can vouch for that. But also some that's less good, and the streets could be better contrived. When Aragorn comes into his own, I shall offer him the service of stone rights of the mountains, and we'll make this a town to be proud of. What do you think, Legolas?
Yes, they need more gardens. The houses are dead, and there's too little here that grows and is glad. If Aragorn comes into his own, the people of the wood shall bring him birds that sing and trees that don't die.
And doubtless the good stonework is the older and was wrought in the first building.
Aye.
It's ever so with the things that men begin. There's a frost in spring or a blight in summer, and they fail of their promise.
Yet seldom do they fail of their seed, and that will lie in the dust and rot, to spring up again in times and places unlooked for. The deeds of men will outlast us, Gimli.
And yet come to nothing in the end but might have beens, I guess.
To that the elves know not the answer. Look, gulls. They're flying far inland. A wonder they are to me and a trouble to my heart. The sea. Alas, I haven't yet beheld it. But deep in the hearts of all my kindred lies the sea longing, which it's perilous to stir. Alas for the gulls! No peace shall I have again under beech or under elm.
Oh, Legolas, say not so. There are countless things still to see in Middle-earth and great works to do. But if all the fair folk take to the havens, it'll be a duller world for those who are doomed to stay. Yet, whatever is still to do, I hope to have a part in it for the honor of the dwarves of the Lonely Mountain.
And I for the folk of the Great Wood, and for the love of the Lord of Gondor.
Aye. Well, the captains are still debating. I wonder what they're saying.
See, my lords, listen to the words of the steward of Gondor before he died. You may triumph on the fields for a day, but against the power that has now arisen there's no victory. Well, I don't bid you despair as he did, but to ponder the truth in those words. The stones of seeing, one of which we know he had, as at Orthanc, don't lie, and not even the Lord of Mount Doom can make them do so. He can, maybe by his will, choose what things shall be seen by weaker minds, or cause them to mistake the meaning of what they see. Nonetheless, it can't be doubted that when Denethor saw great forces arrayed against him in Mordor, and more still being gathered, he saw that which truly is. Hardly has our strength sufficed to beat off the first great assault. The next will be greater. Yes. This war, then, is without final hope, as Denethor perceived. Victory can't be achieved by arms, whether you sit here to endure siege after siege, or march out to be overwhelmed beyond the river. You have only a choice of evils, and prudence would counsel you to strengthen such strong places as you have, and there await the onset, for so shall the time before your end be made a little longer.
Then you would have us retreat to Minas Tirith or some other fastness, and there sit like children on sand castles when the tide is flowing?
No, that would be no new counsel. Haven't you done this and little more in all the days of Denethor? But no, I said victory couldn't be achieved by arms. I still hope for victory, but not by arms, for into the midst of all these policies comes the Ring of Power. Yes, the foundation of the enemy's strength and the hope of Sauron. Consider this thing, my lords. You now all know enough for the understanding of our plight and of Sauron's. If he regains it, your valor is vain, and his victory will be swift and complete, so complete that none can foresee the end of it while this world lasts. But if it's destroyed, then he'll fall. Now, Sauron knows all this, and he knows that this precious thing which he lost has been found again. But he doesn't know where it is, or so we hope. And therefore he's now in great doubt. For if we have found this thing, there are some among us with strength enough to wield it. Yes. Now that too he knows. For don't I guess rightly, Aragorn, that you've shown yourself to him in the Stone of Orthanc?
I did so ere I rode here.
Yes.
I deemed that the time was ripe and that the stone had come to me for just such a purpose. It was then, 10 days since the ring-bearer went east, and the Eye of Sauron, I thought, should be drawn out from his own land. Too seldom has he been challenged since he returned to his tower, though if I had foreseen how swift would be his onset in answer, maybe I should not have dared to show myself. Bare time was given me to come to your aid.
His eye is now straining towards us, blind almost to all else that's moving. So we must keep it there. Yes, therein lies all our hope. This then is my counsel. We haven't the ring. In wisdom or in great folly, it's been sent away to be destroyed, lest it destroy us. But we must at all costs keep his eye from his true peril. We can't achieve victory by arms, but by arms we can give the ring-bearer his only chance, frail though it be.
This is the only.
Yes, as Aragorn has begun, So we must go on. We must push Sauron to his last throw. For, my lords, it may well prove that we ourselves shall perish utterly in a dire battle far from living lands, so that even if the enemy be thrown down, we shan't live to see a new age. But this I deem is our duty, and better so to perish as we may than to perish in despair.
As I have begun, so will I go on. We come now to the very brink where hope and despair are akin. To waver is to fall. Let none now reject the counsels of Gandalf, whose long labors against Sauron come at last to their test.
I have little knowledge of these deep matters, but I need it not. This I know, and it's enough, that as my friend Aragorn succored me and my people, so will I aid him when he calls. I will go.
Very good. Now, I don't counsel you to leave the city all unmanned. Indeed, the force that we lead need not be great enough for any assault in earnest upon Mordor, so long as it be great enough to challenge battle, and it must move soon. Therefore, I ask the captains.
Yes, sir.
What force could we muster and lead out in 2 days' time at the latest? They must be hardy men that go willingly, knowing their peril.
All are weary, and very many have wounds, light or grievous. And we've suffered much loss of our horses, and that's ill to bear. If we must ride soon, then I can't hope to lead even 2,000s, and yet leave as many for the defense of the city.
We haven't only to reckon with those who fought on this field. New strength is on the way. I judge that we could lead out 7,000s of horse and foot, and yet leave the city in better defense than it was when the assault began.
The gate is destroyed.
I'll send Gimli, Glóin's son, to ask for rights of the mountain. But men are better than gates, and no gate will endure against our enemy if men desert it.
Surely this is the greatest jest in all the history of Gondor, that we should ride with 7,000s, scarce as many as the vanguard of its army in the days of its power, to assail the mountains and the impenetrable gate of the Dreadland? So might a child threaten a mail-clad knight with a bow of string and green willow. If the Dark Lord knows so much as you say, Mithrandir, won't he rather smile than fear, and with his little finger crush us like a fly that tries to sting him?
No. He'll try to trap the fly, my lord Eomer, and take the sting. And there are names among us that are worth more than 1,000 mail-clad knights apiece. No, he won't smile.
Neither shall we. If this be jest, then it's too bitter for laughter. Nay, it's the last move in a great jeopardy, and for one side or the other, it'll bring the end of the game. See, the sword that was broken, new forged. You shall not be sheathed again until the last battle is fought.
And so the army under Gandalf and the lords of Gondor moved off, troop by troop and company by company. And long after they had passed away out of sight down the great road to the causeway, Merry stood there. The last glint of the morning sun on spear and helm twinkled and was lost, and still he remained with bowed head and heavy heart, feeling friendless and alone. Everyone that he cared for had gone away into that gloom that hung over the distant eastern sky, and little hope at all was left in his heart that he would ever see any of them again.
No sign of any enemy, Lord.
No. Yet a shadow and a gloom brood over this land. Look at that hideous orc head put on that statue at the boundary.
Sound the trumpets at each road!
The lords of Gondor have returned. All this land they take back. Break that orc head. Forward!
So time and the hopeless journey wore away.
Sound the trumpets, heralds!
The lords of Gondor are come!
They came at last to the end of the living lands and began to pass into the desolation that lay before the gates of the pass where once Frodo walked and climbed. And they could descry the marshes and the desert that stretched north and west. It grew cold, and now loomed near the great rampart of the Dark Gate and the two towers of the Teeth, tall and dark upon either side. The three vast doors of the Black Gate under the frowning arches were fast closed. Upon the battlement nothing could be seen. All was silent but watchful. They were come to the last end of their folly, and stood forlorn and chill in the grey light of early day before towers and walls which their army could not assault with hope.
Now we captains will ride forth with a guard. I'll be chief herald with Aragorn, Eomer of Rohan, Legolas and Gimli and Peregrine, so that all the enemies of Mordor shall have a witness. Unfurl the banner. Now, heralds.
Come forth! Let the Lord of the Dark Land come forth! Let the Lord of the Dark Land come forth! Come forth!
And forth from the gate as it opened there came an embassy from the Dark Tower. At its head rode a tall and evil shape mounted upon a black horse, if horse it was, for it was huge and hideous, and its face was a frightful mask, more like a skull than a living head, and in the sockets of its eyes and in its nostrils there burned a flame. The rider was robed all in black, and black was his lofty helm. Yet this was no ring wraith, but a living man. The lieutenant of the Tower of the Enemy he was, and his name is remembered in no tale, for he himself had forgotten it.
I am the mouth of Sauron. Is there anyone here in this rout with authority to treat with me, or indeed with wit to understand me?
It's also the custom for ambassadors to use less insolence.
So, thou art the spokesman, old Greybeard. I have tokens that I was bidden to show to thee in especial, if thou shouldst dare to come. Bring them forward. First, this short sword.
It was Sam's.
Next, this gray cloak with an elven brooch.
Oh, the brooch was given Sam too.
Yes. And finally, this small coat of mithril mail?
No.
Oh no! It was Frodo's. He never took it off.
No! No, you devil! What have you done to Frodo?
Silence!
I see you have another of these imps with you. What use you find in them I cannot guess. But to send them as spies into Mordor is beyond even your accustomed folly. He was dear to you, I see. Or else his errand was one that you didn't wish to fail. It has. And now he shall endure the slow torment of years, unless you accept my lord's terms.
Name the terms! Name the terms!
We are defeated. Gandalf will accept them.
These are the terms. Yes, the terms. The rabble of Gondor and its deluded allies shall draw at once beyond the river, first taking oaths never again to assail Sauron the Great in arms, open or secret. All lands east of the river shall be Sauron's forever solely. The lands west of the Misty Mountains and the lands of Rohan shall be tributary to Mordor, and men there shall bear no weapons, but shall have leave to govern their own affairs. But they shall help to rebuild Isengard, which they have wantonly destroyed, and that shall be Sauron's, and there his lieutenant shall dwell. Not Saruman, but one more worthy of trust.
This is much to demand for the delivery of one servant. Where is this prisoner? Let him be brought forth and yield it to us, and then we'll consider these demands.
You what? Don't bandy words in your insolence with the mouth of Sauron. These are his terms. Take them or leave them.
These we will take. These, the coat, the cloak, and the sword, these we will take in memory of our friend. But as for your terms, we reject them utterly. Get you gone, for your embassy is over, and death is near you. We didn't come here to waste words in treating with Sauron, faithless and accursed. Still less with one of his slaves. Begone!
What?
Quick, up the hill and order for battle. They're coming! They're coming!
Sam roused himself painfully from the ground. For a moment he wondered where he was, and then all the misery and despair returned to him. He was in the deep dark, outside the Undergate, in the stronghold of the orcs, and its brazen doors were shut.
I must have stunned myself against them. Oh, and it's cold. Ooh. Oh. Let's see if the ring will make any difference. Let's see now. Here it is. On you go. Oh, I can feel that eye searching. I'm coming, Mr. Frodo! I'm coming, Mr. Frodo!
And so Sam crossed into Mordor. Hard and cruel and bitter was the land that met his gaze. Before his feet, the highest ridge of the pass fell steeply in great cliffs down into a dark trough, on the further side of which there rose another ridge, much lower, its edge notched and jagged with crags like fangs that stood out black against the red light behind them. It was the inner ring of defenses of the land. Far beyond it, but almost straight ahead across a wide lake of darkness dotted with tiny fires, there was a great burning glow, and from it rose in huge columns a swirling smoke, dusky red at the roots, black above where it merged into the billowing canopy that roofed in all the accursed land. Sam was looking at Orod Ruin, the mountain of fire, Mount Doom.
This stronghold has been built not to keep enemies out of Mordor, but to keep them in. And it's hopeless to creep down under those many-eyed walls past that gate. And that ring's getting heavier and heavier. Maybe I should use it. Use it? Me? Yes. No. I could become Samwise the Strong, hero of the age, armies flocking to my call. And this place? I'd turn this place into a garden of flowers and trees and fruit. Yes, just put the ring on and claim it for my own. But Frodo, Mr. Frodo. And I really need only one small garden, not a whole realm of gardens. Anyway, all these notions are only a trick. He'd spot me and cow me before I could as much as shout out. Oh, he'd spot me pretty quick if I put the ring on now, in Mordor itself. What's all that noise anyway? Look out, Samwise. Here come two of them. I know. It's Mr. Frodo's coat they're quarreling about. That means those orders that those orc captains got are his only protection. He might be killed out of hand any moment. Come on, Sam, you miserable sluggard. Now for it. At least I have Sting. Here's the gate. And it's open. Ugh! Ugh! It's open. But I can't get through. There's nothing in the way. It's some force. Oh, it's them. Two statues on thrones. Ugh. All right. How about the lady's file, eh? Aha! They don't feel so strong now. See? See? And I'm through. That's done it. Now I've rung the front doorbell. Well, come on, somebody. No answer, huh? Now look here. The place is strewn with bodies. Looks like they've been hewn down or shot. There's two with knives sticking in their backs. Ah! Ugh. The stones are slippery with blood. There's two liveries, one with a red eye on them, and the other with a moon and a skull. Ugh. Now let's go inside the tower. can't go another step. Oh, where am I? I'm outside. On a parapet?
Now you leave him alone now, do you hear? I'm in charge of that. You won't do that again, you say? Curse you, Snagger, you little maggot! I'll deal with you. I'll send you to Shelob. Come here and I'll squeeze your eyes out.
I'm not going down those stairs again. Ah! Keep your hands off your knife or I'll put a needle in your guts. You won't be Captain Longshank, Brat. I'll hear about all these goings-on. A nice mess you two precious captains have made of things fighting over the swag.
That's enough from you. I had my orders. It was Gorbag started it.
Well, Gorbag was right, I tell you.
Hey!
There's a great fighter about one of those bloody-handed elves or one of those filthy darks. He's coming here. You heard the bell. He got past the watchers, and that's Tark's works. He's on the stairs, and unless he gets off, then I'm not going down. Not if you were an Osgood. I wouldn't.
So that's it. You do this and you do that, eh? And when he comes, you'll bolt and leave me? No, you won't. I'll put red maggot holes in your belly first. Take that. Gorbag too, eh? Not quite dead yet, huh? Well, I'll finish my job now. Tastes good, does blood on a knife. Now where's that Snagger? Now I'll take this little bundle of prizes with me.
Oh, no, you won't.
Ah! Oh, you take it then.
He's got away. He pushed that bundle of our things at me. Now he's gone. But if I go after him, that other orc will do something horrible. I'm going back up the stairs to the very top. It's my job, whatever happens afterwards. A dead end. And after all my climbing. Every minute's precious. This can't be the top of the tower. But what can I do? Those two lower doors were locked. Oh, Frodo, Mr. Frodo, just one sight of your face and one touch of your hand. That's all I need. I'll just sit here for a moment. In western lands beneath the sun, the flowers may rise in spring. The trees may bud, the waters run, the merry finches sing. Or there may be 'tis cloudless night and swaying beaches bare. The elven stars as jewels white amid their branching hair. Though here at journey's end I lie. Did I hear someone singing too?
You lie quiet or you'll pay for it. You've not got long to live in peace, I guess. But if you don't want the fun to begin right now, keep your trap shut, see? There's a reminder for you.
So, that's where the top of the tower is, reached by a ladder. And he just hurt Mr. Frodo. Here goes, then. Gotcha! He fell through the trapdoor. Now, where? Oh, over here. Frodo, Mr. Frodo. Oh, my dear. It's Sam. I've come. Oh, let me hold you. You're naked.
Oh, Mr. Frodo, dear.
I can hardly believe it. There was an orc with a whip, and then it turns into Sam. And then I wasn't dreaming after all when I heard that singing down below, and I tried to answer. Was it you?
'Twas indeed, Mr. Frodo. I'd given up hope almost. I couldn't find you.
Well, you have now, Sam. Dear Sam. Oh, your arms are so gentle. I'm not hurt, Sam. Only I feel very tired, and I've got a pain here. Let me walk about a bit. There, that's better. I didn't dare to move when I was left alone, or one of the guards came. They quarreled, I think, over me and my things. I lay there terrified, and then all went deadly quiet, and that was worse.
Now what's to be done? You can't go walking the land out there in naught but your skin, Mr. Frodo.
Oh, they've taken everything, Sam.
Not everything, Mr. Frodo.
What?
I took it, Mr. Frodo, begging your pardon, and I've kept it safe. It's round my neck now, and a terrible burden it is, too.
You've got it here, Sam?
Yes.
Sam, you're a marvel. Give it to me. Give it to me at once. You can't have it.
All right, Mr.
Here,
Frodo.
here.
It is. Here.
Oh, forgive me, Sam. After all you've done, it's the horrible power of the ring. I wish it had never been found. But don't mind me, Sam. I must carry the burden to the end. It can't be altered. You can't come between me and this doom.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Frodo. I understand. But I can still help, can't I? I've got to get you out of here. At once, see? But first, you want some clothes and gear, and then some food. Now, you put this elf cloak round you. There, see? And you lent me Sting, if you remember, and the lady's glass. I've got them both still. But lend them to me a little longer, Mr. Frodo. I must go and see what I can find. I shan't be long. There you are, Mr. Frodo. A perfect little orc, if I may make so bold. This will hide some of the telltales, this large black cloak. Come on now, Mr. Frodo. Here, take my hand. Now, Mr. Frodo, here we are at the gate.
I can't go on, Sam. I'm going to faint.
Oh, no.
I don't know what's come over me.
I do, Mr. Frodo. Hold up. Hold up now. It's the gate. There's some devilry here. But I got through with the lady's file. It can't be more dangerous than before. Come, Mr. Frodo. Now for it. See? Quick, Mr. Frodo. Now. Gilthoniel! Gilthoniel! Elbereth!
Gilthoniel! Elbereth!
We're through!
And just in time, Sam, it seems. The doorway's crumbling. Look out!
Oh, look out, Mr. Frodo! Look what's coming down on us! Run, Mr. Frodo, run! No, not that way! Quick, there's a sheer drop over the wall, not that way! Follow me, Mr. Frodo!
It's no good, Sam. I just can't manage it. This mail shirt, I mean, not in my present state. Even my elf mail seems heavy when I'm tired. This is far heavier. And what's the use of it? We shan't get through by fighting anyway.
But we may have some to do, Mr. Frodo. And there's knives and stray arrows. That Gollum isn't dead, for one thing. I don't like to think of you with nothing but a bit of leather between you and a stab in the dark.
Hush. Huh? There's a ring wraith over us. I can feel it. We'd better keep still for a while. Orcs, quick. We're coming this way, too. Down back into the bushes.
I'm going home. No good wearing my nose out on stones anymore. You don't even know what you're looking for.
Whose blame is that? That comes from higher up. First they say it's a great elf. Then it's some sort of dwarf man.
They've lost their heads. Tower raided, hundreds of your lads done in. If that's the way you fighters go on, small wonder there's bad news from the battle.
Who says there's bad news?
Who says there isn't?
That's cursed rebel talk.
All right. But what's that sniffling sneak got to do with it all? That gobbler with the flapping hands?
I don't know. Nothing, maybe. But he's up to no good nosing around, I'll wager. Word came that he's wanted alive and wanted quick.
Yeah, well, I hope they get him.
Well, I shot him, but he ran on.
Darn! You missed him. First you shot wild, then you run too slow. I've had enough of you.
You come back or I'll report you.
Who to? Shagrat won't be captain anymore.
I'll give your name and number to the Nazgul. One of them's in charge of the tower now.
You cursed, preaching sneak thief. Get out of your filthy shriekers and may they freeze the flesh off you.
Why, you? Let me get at you!
Did you hear what they said about that gobbler, Mr. Frodo? I told you Gollum wasn't dead yet, didn't I? Begging your pardon, Mr. Frodo, but have you any notion how far there is still to go?
No, not any clear notion, Sam.
Oh.
But even if all goes well, I could hardly reach the mountain in a week. I'm afraid, Sam, that the burden will get very heavy and I shall go still slower as we get nearer.
That's just as I feared. Well, we've got to eat less, Mr. Frodo. One more bite, and all the food's ended. Save the elves' waybread.
I'll try and be a bit quicker, Sam. So, come on then. Let's start another march.
Mordor Dark had returned, and the watchfires on the heights were burning fierce and red when the hobbits set out again on the most dangerous stage of all their journey. After doing some 12 miles, they halted, rested for some minutes, and then went on. But they had not taken many steps when suddenly they heard the sound that all along they had secretly dreaded.
I feared it, Sam. We've trusted to luck, and it's failed us. We're trapped.
If only they're in a hurry, and we'll let a couple of tired orc soldiers alone and pass on. They might with these clothes on.
Come on, you slugs. Yeah, this is no time for slouching. Come on. Deserted, eh? You're thinking of it? All you folks should have been inside the gate before yesterday evening. You know that. Up you get and fall in, or I'll have your number and report you. Yes, sir.
That's right, sir.
Now
down at the rear, 3 files up, and stay there. You'll know it when I come down the line. Yeah!
Well, at least we're going in the right direction.
Oh, Sam, I can hardly...
Yes, you got to, Mr. Frodo. Hang in there now. You've got to.
For Frodo, it was a torment and soon a nightmare. He set his teeth and tried to stop his mind from thinking, and he struggled on. The stench of the sweating orcs about him was stifling, and he began to gasp with thirst. On they went, and he bent all his will to draw his breath and to make his legs keep going. And yet to what evil end he toiled and endured he didn't dare to think. There was no hope of falling out unseen.
There now. Where there's a whip, there's a wheel, my slugs. Don't you know we're at war?
Along all the roads troops were moving, for the captains of the west were advancing, and the Dark Lord was speeding his forces north. So it chanced that several companies came together at the road meeting in the dark beyond the light of the watchfires on the wall.
Quick, Mr. Frodo, now! Come on, Mr. Frodo. One more crawl, and then you can lie still. Only a few more yards. Down here in this pit, Mr. Frodo, down here.
Where are those two? Come on, you lot two. Move!
You've been listening to The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, adapted for radio by Bernard Mays, and featuring Pat Franklin as Merry, Karen Hurley as Éowyn, Matthew Locricchio as Éomer, Mac McAdam as Pippin, Bernard Mays as Gandalf, John Vickery as Legolas, Tom Luce as Denethor, Pat Franklin as the Old Woman, Eric Bowersfeld as the Herbmaster, Tom Luce as Aragorn, James Arrington as Frodo, Lou Bliss as Sam, and Gail Chugg as Gollum and the narrator.